We are going to be joined by Mariam Hasnany, who is a product manager at Google. Well, I would love to have her on screen with me. Hey there, Mariam.
Hi. Hi, how
Nice
are
to
you
see
doing?
you. I'm
Nice to
good. How
see
are
you
you?
too. Good.
Well,
Can you help me pronounce your name?
sure. It's Digvijay.
Digvijay. Did I say it right?
You got it right.
Okay.
First try. First try. Well done. Anyway, I'm presuming that you're still in Seattle.
I am. It is 9 a.m.
Super early, right? I'm so sorry
Yeah.
for
No, it's
having you
okay.
wake up this early. At least have you had your early morning cup of coffee?
I don't actually drink coffee, but I did have cereal.
Oh, okay, that's good. Well, I feel a
Yeah.
little less guilty now.
Yeah.
So we are also going to be joined by Thomas for this Q&A session. So Thomas, why don't you head on back? There he is.
Hi.
Hi again,
Mariam.
Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Well, Mariam here is a product manager at Google itself, and she is the product owner of Flutter Web. So I think the best way to begin our Q&A session would be for me to ask you folks what you think, what you thought about the Flutter Engage event, and what was your favorite part of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I am biased because I put in like several months of work into it. I think my favorite part was actually being able to answer live questions. I mean, I've only been on the Flutter team for a year. I was really excited to be able to do something live and actually meet everybody in person. But with the circumstance, it was nice to at least have the opportunity to kind of have a live or just be able to just chat with people. But I'm hoping in the future I actually get to see a lot of you.
Well, that's what we're hoping. Thomas, what about you?
To be honest, as somebody who is almost always on the master channel on of Flutter, it was not so much surprises from the technical point, but I was very, very happy to see that desktop really gets out of beta. Actually, I don't know, was desktop at all in beta? It was, I think it jumped from alpha into stable somehow.
A caveat. So I think what we did is it is beta, but we decided to put a snapshot of what's in beta into stable so that folks can still leverage it and use it and try it in stable without having to switch a channel.
Because I was using it for quite some time. And the other thing that I really found amazing was the announcement by Toyota, because this is one of the, I regularly get the question, oh, are you sure that Flutter will stay? Because Google has an infamous history of discontinuing products. And so an announcement like this, that companies like Toyota set on it, and other big companies, that is a big reassurance that it's the right technology to use. Yeah, and what I also really loved was the ability to see some more people of the team live. Yeah, so people like Leaf or like Bob. That you because you communicate with them for quite some time over Twitter or over issues on GitHub, but to see them live and you get a totally different feeling, and it changes really the thing the next time you chat or you write an issue, yeah, because you now have a feeling for the person, and this was I really enjoyed it.
Well, you have a face to put right next to the person now.
Yeah, but not even the face. We had a face already, but really just it makes such a difference to see somebody talking. It is. I found this really. It was actually I wasn't aware before how important it is really.
Yeah, you can hear their voice when they write comments in your GitHub issue.
I thought I was the only one.
Exactly.
I mean, you also got a glimpse into all of our houses. I'm currently in my garage. For the Engage event, I had put all my plants behind me so that it would look a little bit more lively than just a bunch of gray gray storage units.
Oh, well, that's fine as long as you're here. So, Mariam, I need to ask you this, and I'm sure you must get this a lot, but a lot of folks have been talking about what the stage the Flutter Web is in now and the current state of it. And they're talking about how Flutter Web right now is not exactly made for websites, but rather allows your mobile apps to run at a URL with your browsers. So, any comments on that?
Yeah, I guess they've listened to me kind of say that over and over again. So my job is done. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I think when we were going to stable, one of the main things we were thinking about is we know that just like mobile has been around for Flutter for 2 years now, right? Or even longer. And so for web, it's our first time going to stable, and we know that we can't do everything. You know, it's we considered this as like our V1, our way of getting it out the door to you so that you could start building in production, and so that we could start getting a lot of feedback and figuring out exactly what you want to use it for. And when you're coming from something that's built for mobile, which is built for apps, it's the use case that makes the most sense is web apps. And so that's why we know that we've seen early adopters use it for that use case. We know that we have a lot of the framework built for that specifically. And so having an engine that just runs on the web, that is using the same framework as mobile, it just made sense to first go with web apps. We're not discounting a lot of the other use cases that the web brings, but the web platform has been around forever, and we're not competing with the web platform. We are trying to give another framework, add another tool set to you to be able to do things on the web. And so right now, this tool set is best for web apps because we've tried it, we've tested it, we have test infrastructure in place for it. We have everything that, you know, is really going to make you successful for those experiences that don't need indexability and don't need a lot of large static content, because usually apps don't. It's more around that dynamic functionality. And so that's why we emphasized it, because we know we have a lot of work to do still, but we know that what we've put out is good and ready for at least building those production web apps.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
actually, and there's another aspect that I personally, for example, why I love it. For dinosaurs like me, who never got into the web stuff, it's amazing that I'm now able to I can write a web app that works, and I don't have to learn JavaScript. This is an extremely important thing for everyone who is not coming from the web area, and he has the request. Okay, I want to show something on the web. Yeah, I did it just recently for a charity project that I'm working. It's just a really little piece of app, and it was just cool. I could develop it on my computer, running it on desktop, and then I just built it for web, drag the folder to Netlify over, and it was running. Yeah, and this is pretty cool. This is really something I extremely enjoyed.
That's great to hear.
I guess people should just, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. People should just take it as another gateway into the web, right? Just another passage that they can take, probably for the uninitiated, maybe. Just an easy way to get into the flow of things, I guess. So yes, a question for you guys. Of course, before we do that, just a quick reminder for all the viewers: if you have any questions for Mariam or Thomas, just leave them in the comments, and we'll bring them up here. So yes, with Flutter now supporting multiple platforms, is there any advanced widget that can switch the UI based on the type of platform it's supporting? You know, say mobile or web.
Okay, so I'm going to try to see if I can understand the question. Is it to be able to switch UI in terms of using specific packages or widgets between mobile and web that are different, or is it more so like responsive design?
It's more towards responsive design. I mean, I guess people are looking for a quick switch that would help them fix things very quickly, switch them up between the different platforms that they view their apps on.
Yeah. So I mean, we have a few things that are already there in terms of like layout builder, which really focuses on like the widgets within your layout and it's like resizing those. But then we also have media query, which tests what's your screen size so that you can adapt to that. I personally would use both and not just rely on one because they both do different things. But then I think Material also came out with something called, I think it's called adaptive navigation. I can look it up quickly.
What I wonder does normally I have this I can use this constants in my app. The platform dot is iOS is Windows as a is there does also support is web? Can I query it in this way?
Say it one more time. Sorry, I was looking up adaptive navigation.
No. Normally, if you have code that is platform dependent, you can you can query the platform with platform dot is Windows, is Linux, or is but I'm not sure does it also support is web. So can I easily query if I'm running in the browser or not?
Yeah, so we don't have that for web yet. I believe there's an issue and there is a discussion internally. You can actually read it in the issue that's happening. But we do have K as web. So that's been around for a while since like we came out with the technical preview. And so we recommend using that for now until we've sorted out whether we want to add it to the platform stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the material widget is called adaptive navigation, and it's kind of cool because it lets you change how your navigation works between mobile and like desktop form factors, because the web runs on both mobile and desktop, right? So your responsiveness isn't just moving to desktop and a bigger screen. It's making sure it works on tablet and basically any device the internet runs. So yeah, so I think try those. If they aren't working, file issues, exactly what you're looking for, because that's the best way we can help in creating new APIs or new widgets, or just leveraging the ones we have and making them more robust.
All right. Well, of course, also with the recent technological advancements that are going on around the world, what are the best ways to implement artificial intelligence and machine learning with Flutter?
That is a great question. I think there's sorry, I'm going to keep pulling up stuff because it's going to jog my memory.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I believe there's some, like Firebase has a bunch of ML stuff. And so I think they have something called like ML Kit or ML Vision as like an actual Firebase plugin. So I believe plugins are your best way, right? Like in Flutter, plugins let you do anything with native APIs on whatever platform you're on. So if there's APIs that do AI and ML in JavaScript, using plugins or JS interop to be able to just bring in that JavaScript API will let you do it. I believe there's a bunch of TensorFlow, which is like ML and AI JavaScript APIs out there that you can easily bring into Flutter Web. And I think there's also like some third-party TensorFlow plugins like TF Lite, I think it's called. But there are actual like Firebase official plugins, which are Firebase ML Custom. Yeah, Firebase ML Custom and Firebase ML Vision, which I want to say are gonna work and are supported on the web because they are coming from the Firebase team. So try those. If you see things are missing, the Flutter is open source, so you can build the plugins for other people to use as you experiment, or work with somebody on it. There's so many packages out there that I think are already there, so collaborate with whoever the owner is, or file issues for the issues that you find. I hope that answers the question.
Well, it does. Thomas, thoughts?
Honestly, I'm. This is one of my blind spots.
Okay.
Because I hadn't any application yet for it, and the only thing that I tried in the past was also to try some cloud services in this way, but I honestly, this is one of the places where I have really no idea.
All right. Well, we'll then move on to a crowd favorite. Well, with the recent improvements in scroll and animations, will the iOS jank issue be resolved?
That is a great question. So I think if you, again, 1 second, I'm going to look it up. There is a project in GitHub. There is a project in GitHub. It is project/188. That has all the issues that we're looking at and that we're working on. We've made good progress since the issue has been brought up. And one of the things that we're working on is specifically the shader warm-up. And it's something we're working on short term, but then we're also working on like long-term fixes that won't require that warm-up. But yeah, we don't have anything like concrete that I can say. I'm also not working on the issue or like working with the team that's on the issue. I just know they're very heads down and working on it. So I hope that gives some confidence. But yeah, look at GitHub. You'll see everything that we're working on. You can provide your own input.
Yeah, Hixie dropped recently a comment on one of my issues on this topic, where he announced that the shader warm-up, that they have finished this and it works, but it still will take time to inside the whole consideration of it. But even to hear that there's something going on and they have success, I think is really good. So it's yeah.
Yeah, I think in the Flutter Engage Q&A, one of the things, I don't know if it was Eric or Ian, but one of the things they said is iOS Metal, think of it as just like web, right? Like it was basically rebuilding to another platform. It's a whole new platform. It's not just like an upgrade to like a few APIs. And so it's going to take some time for us to exactly make it stable. And so these are one of the issues that we found, and we're hoping to make improvements quickly.
All right. Well, Thomas, here's one for you. What do you think is a good way to handle background processes in Flutter effectively?
Sorry, I also this is one of the things I have never looked into, honestly, and and I know this is one of the it's an area. It's a little bit a stepchild on how we support this, but yeah, I can't really help in this way. I know there are possibilities, but not exactly how. No.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just leave it open for the community then. Get it answered somewhere, hopefully.
I know there is a Medium article on this topic. That is, I think it's I think Hixie said it once that it was updated recently. Maybe check that it's worth to look there.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to look for that Medium article then.
Yep.
And we will do that. Anyway, moving on. So, Mariam, with the growing need for securing data, can Flutter actually work with encrypted data storage on the web? Say, for example, like keychain in iOS?
Yeah, that's a good question. So again, Flutter sits, Flutter's web engine basically transcompiles to JavaScript, right? And so by doing that, we can do everything that the browser can. But not beyond anything the browser can. So like, I think with the iOS like keychains, if they're mediated by the browser, then I think it should work. I don't know if there's a direct API. I don't know much about like iOS keychain, to be honest. But I think in terms of like encrypted data storage, I have seen some packages that are in pub.dev that allow you to do that on the web. I think Hive has support for web and encryption. You can double check me on that. But yeah, there's possibilities. I mean, if the browser can do it, if there's an API for it, you can definitely do it.
Yeah, well, it's as simple as that then.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a click of a button. There is work involved, but it's possible.
All right. Well, moving on then. Does Flutter Web also support code splitting, lazy loading, server-side rendering, and SEO? Maybe.
Wow, that's a jam-packed question.
We'll take it one at a time.
All
right, code splitting.
all the hard stuff.
Yeah, just throwing it all at me at once. No, it's okay. Okay, let's take it one by one. So I think code splitting is what you said first. If code splitting, you mean like being able to defer. I mean, I see code splitting and lazy loading right now as the same thing in terms of what we can support.
More or less,
and that is being able to defer like your libraries or your assets and lazy load your entire application so it loads faster, right? And so we have deferred libraries. They don't work on mobile, but they do work on web. They're a Dart library. And we actually did a lot of work. Our team did a lot of work on the gallery app that we have as like a demo. And that app has so many assets and so many fonts. And so we tried deferred libraries there to see if we can make it a lot faster to boot up. And by deferring a lot of those fonts and assets you don't need right away. And so if you look at that, the sample code should be open sourced. You might see some examples of how we've done that exactly. I am hoping that we as a team can really understand exactly what we did there and write it in a way that explains it better in some sort of Medium article or documentation soon. So that I think covers code splitting and lazy loading.
Right.
And then server-side rendering, the simple answer is no. Right now, yeah, I mean, right now that is not on our roadmap. I mean, it's not something in the near term that we have planned out. But for SEO, it is something that we are thinking about. We know that's like a huge thing, especially coming from Google, and like know that that's a huge part of why people build on the web, just making your reach even greater through SEO and indexability. And so we know that's a huge ask, but it's also a huge amount of work. And so right now, if you want your entire app to be indexable, that's probably not going to be your best use case for Flutter. And so again, we're best for apps. So like if you have an app, you could have a landing page that's written in HTML and have the SEO there, because once you have somebody using a web app, usually they log in, and usually most of the web apps that you log into do not index or SEO because of privacy. So there are ways. I mean, there's also ways of using, like, we have platform views, so you can put in meta tags if you really need to. And there are ways of still reaching onto that JavaScript level that we expose to you to be able to do these things, or like the DOM level. But right now it's not out of the box, and I don't have like concrete timing or exactly our plans yet. But I hope to answer this question better in the next Q&A at an event. So stay tuned.
Well, it's something that people can at least look forward to.
Yeah.
Sometime. Or we'll just have to start a hashtag on Twitter again. Maybe it'll be a trend.
that is one way.
Yeah, because apparently that gets a lot of stuff done today.
Yeah, trending on Twitter.
Trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
Google SEO. Thomas, what are you looking most forward to?
You mean in general, or
Well,
Out of these four things,
out of
what do
these
you want,
things.
Thomas?
Actually, I think the lazy loading is. I would really love to see that the whole Flutter framework would be able to automatically load it in parts, in the parts that you use. It is surprising with this small app that I just tried. If you put a CSS spinner around your app, it changes the perception totally. If this loading time is really when at first I didn't have it, and the first reactions I showed, wow, this is really slow loading. And then it's such oh yeah, it looks not bad. No, it looks much better. But I think this could be even better if we had some automatically breaking down the app in pieces as they are used. But on the other side, I see that it is. I guess it's really pretty complex to do this, and also I'm not sure if it's really needed, because the main application is really it's a single page web apps, I would say, if you do this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go on any more complex web offering, like be it Figma, be it any online editor, it takes a moment. People are used to it, that it takes a moment till you get to your app. I think really performance is one of the things that is much more important for me, that we even get even faster, because this is the thing that people measuring us at this point, that they say, oh, with React we are it's much more fluent, and we say, yeah. Okay, especially on mobile, I think it's currently not optimal. But the advances that were made over the last 3 months were incredible. Leading up to to Flutter Engage, how that suddenly, wow, what happened? It was really going much faster. And so I'm also hoping that we will see more there in this area.
All right, well, that's that. We have a question from one of our viewers. So Tristan wants to ask if there is a way to customize how widgets are rendered in HTML and JavaScript, so we can at least manage those web aspects ourselves.
I mean, there's always able to do raw widgets, and I think I'm personally the type of Flutter user I am is I stick with out of box and what Flutter gives me, and I try to work with that. But I also do that because that's how I can give feedback to the team without doing the extra stuff, because I'm trying to be somebody who's a novice user that just if I take what I'm given, can I do what I'm envisioning? And so I think in terms of, can you customize how widgets are rendered in HTML and JavaScript? I mean, you can access all the engine and the below code, so you can definitely tweak it and mess with it. I personally can't give advice on how. I don't know, Thomas, if you've done it and if you have better advice.
I'm currently wondering, don't we all? Okay, I know if we have different ways how we can create the web apps. One is with Canvas Kit, and
Mm-hmm.
Canvas Kit is, for my understanding, exactly like in a web app, Skia just draws everything, right? So there your buttons have nothing to do with HTML. It's just you can do everything like normal. And even without this, custom paint will always work. So you can create your completely own buttons if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so I don't know if we're answering the question exactly, but I was taking it from the HTML backend perspective, just because it mentioned HTML. But yeah, I hope it helps answer. If not, feel free to rephrase and I can try to answer it again.
Well, I hope that answers your question, Tristan. And well, if it doesn't, do ask again, and we'll try to do our best to answer it for you. Here's a general question. I mean, since Flutter has obviously been one of the plus points for Flutter was that it's really good at rendering stuff, and people have been building a lot of games with it. So, so a question that's been coming up a lot is that is Flutter good enough for mainstream game development yet?
I mean, I'd ask that back to y'all. I don't think game was something we actively go after or like that we're keeping strict tabs on. It is something cool that we've been seeing people do. I think there's like, what is it, Flame, that somebody's building, like a Flame engine based on Flutter. So I think there's a lot happening. I can't say whether like we're ready for it or not ready for it, because it seems like whether we're ready for it or not, people are building with it. So I would ask the people who are building whether they find any gaps, and I hope they're creating issues if that's the use case they see with Flutter. But it's not something we're actively like keeping our tabs on.
Yeah, I also would say Flutter is it's not the ideal gaming platform. This is just the case. There are definitely other platforms that are currently the go-to platforms. For example, if you want to go cross-platform, that you go Unity, for example, yeah, and there you get everything that is really that you need in a gaming engine. And but sure, you can do things. As is a Flame. I will show you later at the end something what I'm working currently on. What goes in this direction. But still, PUBG or Asphalt, don't see it really.
Well, not for now at least, but I don't think the community is going to let up. I mean, Flame is already there. Something might come up.
Yeah,
that's how the community is, right?
Yeah, sure.
Here's a good one. So, can we build Chrome extensions using Flutter?
I don't know. I mean, it's not a use case that we're pushing. But I saw this question come up before, and I did like a quick search to see if anyone had tried, and I saw a few people actually were pretty successful. I haven't tried it for myself, but I think there was like, if you just search it, there's like a really good Medium article, I forgot by who, but they showed how they did it, and it seemed to have worked. So yeah, I mean, I feel like if there's a use case you want to use Flutter for, and you're not sure that we support it, or you've tried it and there's gaps, file an issue, because that's how it's going to let us know what you're trying to build with it and see what we can do to help fill those gaps. And if it makes sense from our vision as well. So,
well, if it has been done, I guess that's more than enough for people to go ahead and give it a shot. Maybe you'll see more issues end up when you look into it. Maybe
I basically just asked for more work. Oh god, I'm just kidding.
It's so amazing what is done by people in the community. I think I know of 2 alternative embedders for Flutter Desktop to the official ones. Yeah, they are that people just built on their own. And for me, it's I said, wow, this is really complicated stuff. Yeah, but they do it. Yeah, and I'm really curious where we will see Flutter on in the future. It's the really nice thing is that in a way the amount of things that you have to build to bring it on a platform is it's not too much. Yeah, so the interface is very clean. So bring it to a completely new platform, like I think on the Raspberry Pi, for example, there is an example. It seems really doable. So we'll see more, I guess.
Well, hopefully, at least it gives us hope,
Sorry.
All right. So again, also, how's the support for Android TV and smartwatches looking for?
Man, all these questions, and my answers are all going to sound the same. Okay, so I think that we have an FAQ that answers this, maybe. I don't know because I'm so focused on web. But yeah, the official answer is neither of them are officially supported. I mean, right now we've only gone out to web, mobile, and desktop in Mac OS, Linux, and others. But yeah, I don't believe we have plans, but I don't think I'm the best person to answer this question.
Oh
no. I don't think it's like, it's not, again, it's like the Chrome extension. I think it might have been tried, it might have been done. So I don't want to say it hasn't. Internally, have we talked with like some of these teams? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not. I guess what I'm saying is I've been so focused on web. I don't think I'm the best person to answer on these plans. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know there've been a lot of questions going on, and this is the last one, I promise. And Mariam, this is specifically for you.
Okay.
What is the easiest way to get a dash plushie?
Oh gosh, you mean it's for me, like?
I just want one.
Exactly.
This is not a question for me. Okay, so I actually asked Nilay this because I had a feeling this would come up. She is the queen of dashes, and so is Shams. So yeah, this is a hard one. So I mean, like in the past, I mean, I've only been on the Flutter team once, and all I have, I don't know if you can see it, is one.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
I only have one, guys. Come on. And that was because I went to Interact.
And you have one too. I want one too.
So like previously, I think what would happen is you'd go to the conference that we would have, right? And there's always a way to get one. I think at Interact there's like a vending machine of them, and you could like do the little like
claw machine
and grab it. And I hope in the future we actually do get to have those conferences again and give those opportunities. But 2020 was weird. We all got kicked out of our offices, all of our dashes. I just got my dash back. It was stuck in all of our supply of dashes were sitting in the office that we could not get to. So that's probably why you haven't seen a lot being dispersed, right? And I think right now, from Nilay's perspective, if you've contributed, and it's like a significant contribution to the community, she somehow gets informed of these contributions, and usually she figures out how to get them a dash. I mean, or the team does, but yeah, it's been hard to get our own access to the dashes to even kind of get them out to people. That's like the most honest answer I can give. I'm hoping in the future we have a better process. I think somebody asked, like, can you put this on like an actual store so that people aren't. I think we saw it on eBay or something. And yeah, we hope we can get it to people that really want one way or another. But I think it's a limited supply, and also it's hard to access right now.
Well, that's all you had to say. It's time to get cracking. Make some major contributions and probably talk to Dilip.
Yeah,
but
please don't bombard her. She can't do much. It all just depends on yeah, it's if you're making a significant contribution, she usually will find out. I guess start trending on Twitter.
Yeah, well, well, thank you for that. And that's probably all the questions that we have for you guys at the moment. Thomas, Mariam, thank you so much for taking out the time and joining us for this Q&A session right now.